when I'm
I just
ready.
have to AFK for a bit.
For the counter!
Yep. Tier 15 map. AFK expedition. Okay. I was worried that I won't find a divine today. Hey guys, so I'm finally finishing my first build, and this is probably my most successful and most luckiest league start ever. This build is actually also pretty amazing. This is the first sector, but this is like a second build because I started with minion instability, some raging spirits, and because I was already scaling minion life, I decided to refine the build and do it with the new Bodyswap. The new Bodyswap, it consumes a minion and does damage based on minion life. And it's very easy to scale minion life, and you can do this as a Necromancer. You can do it with zombies. I decided to do it with specters, and I'm using the Dark Marionettes, which auto revive themselves. They also add extra explosion when we die, and they apply Scorch. The perfect ones also apply Scorch. So because I got like really lucky at League Start, I keep getting lucky with this character, and I was able to fund my first build more than usually, and I have pretty good defenses. I can kind of AFK expedition in tier 16 maps. I haven't really fixed everything for this build, but pretty much the only thing that I still need to improve or want to improve is to get a 6-link doppelganger body armor. My only real weakness right now is kind of degen, and I think doppelganger would kind of solve that because it would give me physical mitigation, chaos mitigation against dots as well, and it would give me extra 10% regen when I get hit. I have attack and spell block. I have Bloodnotch with Immutable Force dual combination, so when I get stunned I recover part of that damage back instantly. But also had to spend extra 4 passive points to get Energy Shield Mastered. To get Stun Threshold is based on 60% of your Energy Shield instead of life, and have pretty low Energy Shield pool to be able to be stunned all the time. Every hit pretty much stuns me. And then on top of that I added Defiance of Destiny, which also recovers essentially before the hit. It heals me and then I take the damage. And once I actually take the damage, then the Bloodnotch jewel kicks in and heals me again. So most of the time it feels like I'm running on full life all the time. Like I said, the degen is pretty scary. So to kind of combat the degen, I had to get a bit of chaos rest. I don't have very good items. The items can still be improved quite a lot. But I'm also using the Soul of Rakalde Pantheon power to reduce the damage taken a bit. Oh, and I also am using Viridi's Veil with 1 magic ring. So enemy damage is unlucky means it rolls numbers twice and chooses the lower number. So that's a bit of mitigation as well. And I'm also immune to curses pretty much, or should I say unaffected by curses. Okay, and on top of that, Arctic Armor, because when you are using Bodyswap, you are considered as stationary, but also you are considered as you have moved recently. When I'm not actually moving and just using Bodyswap, I'm also considering to be stationary, and I'm also getting less physical damage taken and less fire damage taken from hits. And because this is Necromancer, I'm also using Bone Armor on left click. And one drawback of using Bloodnotch is that you can't get stun locked because you don't want to be stun immune. You want to be stunned. For example, Expedition, you just get chain stun and you cannot really cast anything. So I decided to add cast when stun, and this works so well actually. Because most of my damage comes from minion life. I'm using a Bodyswap of Sacrifice with cast when stunned, life tap, and concentrated effect, which I do swap for my main setup. And that is enough to clear tier 16 expedition. I actually not sure how much my Dark Marionettes have life. I kind of estimate similar to Pale Seraphim, maybe it's a bit less, and Pale Seraphim according to PUB has 363,000 health right now. You can push this much higher as well. Like I said, there are many ways to improve. I don't have very good items, and you can also add quality. Like ideally you could use maybe Dialis body armor. You could also use Ashes. If you don't mind losing Defiance of Destiny, you could also use Replicas Dragon's Fangs Flight +3 to all raise Spectre gems, but that's like 10 divines, and Defiance of Destiny was much cheaper. And by the way, you can catalyst Defiance of Destiny with Life Catalyst to increase the amount of heal you get, and also maximum life. So this amulet is just a very good investment. Now the damage part. So again, I'm not entirely sure how much life the Dark Marionettes would have because we are not in PUB, but if they have this amount of life, I kind of estimated like 350,000. So you calculate that 350,000, and it's currently using 29% of my minion life as damage. So 350,000, 29% would be around 10,000. Sorry, not 10,000, 100,000. So 100,000 to, is this 100,000? This 100,000 to 100,000 added fire damage. Not added fire damage to spells because it's not scaling with spell. And essentially, you just check Bodyswap corpse explosion, not self explosion. Again, the Bodyswap currently is not yet added into PUB, the transfigured gem, so it's not very accurate numbers. I don't have Doppelganger's body armor. But another alternative, and I'm not sure if it's worth using, would be Bronze Lid. The Bodyswap is a movement gem, so it would get +5 levels. But plus levels may not be that much, because plus levels would push the 29% of minion life into like a 31 maybe, so it's not a big deal. You could also get like a rare body armor, get minion life I believe, maybe more AoE with Karkashek or Dialis. I'm not sure how would you want to color Dialis. You would want probably enhance more than empower. But yeah, my current body armor, as you can see, is like shit. I bought it like day 1 or day 2 of the league and just kept using it. One more good thing for this, which is very cheap, Bitterbind point. You mainly want this because it has Spectres have up to 100% increased maximum life. Now my Spectres, I did not get a level 21 gem, but I do have Empower. Inside Viridi's Veil it gains an extra 2 levels. Same goes for Spectres, and also Minion Life and Feeding Frenzy to make them more aggressive, to kind of run ahead. But the annoying part of this build, it feels like you are being rubber banded back. It's like playing with massive lags sometimes, so it may not feel great. But there's no kind of fixing. That's how Bodyswap works. You're gonna be like teleported randomly, especially if you also use cast when stunned. So you may not want to have cast when stunned all the time, but it is very useful during expedition. I couldn't really die because I had enough sustain, but I also couldn't cast anything because it just kept stunning me, kept chain stunning me, and I couldn't really do anything. In some cases you really want to have cast when stunned, but in other cases you absolutely do not want to have cast when stunned. Like doing ultimatum can be very dangerous with cast when stunned, when you keep getting pulled back into where you don't want to be. And also for bossing you probably want to remove cast when stunned, because cast when stunned is gonna do less damage when your main 6-link set up, and you only have 4 Spectres. Once you consume those 4 Spectres, they don't have enough time to revive. The more cast speed you have, the more you're gonna notice that you run out of Spectres, and they don't respawn fast enough. They have 1 second respawn time. So yeah, the average hit in PUB says 4.7 million, but I assume it's a bit lower. It's not very accurate. But then again, I don't really have any proper flasks. I'm missing a couple better items. I don't have like level 21 gem. Many of my gems don't have quality. So this is the one class with the charms, and I'm also missing 1 charm. I have like a simple things. This is just endurance charge generation and block to cap my block. Pretty much cap block 74 62, not that great. And this one is also cover enemies in ash, which is pretty big damage number. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And like I said, I'm missing 1 charm. Probably would be using a charm like this, life regen, and then like penetration. Or by the way, I have exposure on gloves, so I have -11 fire resistance when I apply exposure, and there's a charm that can apply an extra -7 I believe, or was it -8 or -9 maximum. So yeah, that could also be useful. Or you can have like penetration. I believe you can improve this build a lot more by tweaking items, getting better items in general. Like my Vine is just +1 to minion skills, a tiny bit of minion damage, and that's it. And I do have spiritual aid so that the minion damage does affect me. And minion damage also is kind of worth getting. The Dark Marionette, when it explodes, deal 5% of their life as physical, fire and lighting damage. So that's like an extra 15% damage that is very hit. And Bodyswap is your hit. Someone level 100 just went to the void. Rip. So yeah, the build is, I think, a very big success. By the way, credits to Grimslade, who kind of started talking about Bodyswap. There was also another one person that talked about the Bodyswap, but Grimslade showed me his kind of build plan first, and I thought, yeah, you know what, since I'm doing Summon Raging Spirit minion stability and scaling minion life, may as well swap to Bodyswap, because I didn't really like minion stability, Summon Raging Spirits that much. And yeah, this worked really well. Yo, I forgot to mention, on Saturday I will be on Fated Podcast. It will be streamed on the Cat Masters Twitch channel, and I will leave link to the countdown timer in the description. So that's pretty much it for this video. I have not decided the next build, so if you got some interesting, just basically leave your ideas for the builds in comments below, because I have not decided. I'm probably gonna spend one more day playing this build, farming a bit more, and hopefully decide the build. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.